Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here. Welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here and I am glad to be here. Last week, we gave each other a challenge. What am I grateful for? What are you grateful for right now, right here? And we challenged ourselves to ask that at least once a day. Now, I got a prop. I carry a thing called a rock in my pocket. I have for probably 20 years. So when I would touch that rock during the day, I would stop and ask myself that question. What am I grateful for right now, right here? It changed my week. It kept me focused on the things that matter most. It made me more present to where I could look around and see things I wouldn't normally see. And I'm going to encourage us to do it for another week. I'm committing to do it for another week. Will you commit to do it for a week? And see if you can't do it at least once a day. What am I grateful for right now, right here? Now, I'd like to share with you, would you be interested in knowing 4 things that I have selected from all of the things that I've learned from Coach Wooden? I wouldn't say these are the 4 most important, but in looking at them, they were aligned with what I just talked about. And I think there are 4 critical rules, laws, agreements that Coach Wooden shared all the time. Number 1, these are his words: adversity produces unexpected opportunity. You know, I went and just Googled it. And when I Googled it, all these stories showed up. I mean, because isn't it true that some of man's greatest achievements came as a result of adversity, adversarial situations? One of my favorite stories is Thomas Edison in 1914. 10 of his buildings caught fire spontaneously, just a huge chemical fire that's just huge. His son Charlie was standing next to him as they looking at this thing in awe. He says, "Charlie, go get your mom." And he's like, "Why?" He pushed back. He says, "Charlie, go get your mom. She's never seen a fire like this before." And so he went and got her a different approach entirely. And it wasn't but a couple days later, even after realizing they'd lost over $25 million, and that was after insurance, that he said, gathered everybody around, he said, "There is great value in disaster. All our mistakes burned up. Thank God we can start anew." See, this was more than a positive approach. This was full of gratitude. He truly appreciated what most people would rightly call a disaster. And that next year he made $10 million and he was off and running with new inventions. Okay, the second thing that aligns with that: once opportunity arrives, it's too late to prepare. And unless you have a vision of the future, and unless you're focused in on always preparing yourself, always that grit that comes from preparing yourself, you're not going to be ready when that opportunity shows up. So once opportunity arrives, it's too late to prepare. Prepare now. Third thing, mind the details. He would ask, when they saw what the vision of what they're doing, he would ask, how will we fail to reach the results we desire? You know, in Strategic Coach, it's the premier entrepreneurial coaching program in the world. I'm certain of it. But at the very beginning, the early stages of training, there's a tool, a thinking tool that they share with us called the strategy circle. And so once you have set your sights on what it is that you're trying to achieve, that vision of the future, whatever that milestone is that you're trying to get to, the very next thing that you do is that you ask yourself or your team, what are all the obstacles that are going to keep me from achieving that? And once you've identified the obstacles, then you're able to attack those and go out and achieve the greater results. So that's 3. Number 4, make the best of things. In Coach Wooden's words, I also believe that things turn out for those that make the best of the way things turn out. And he said, you've never failed if you know in your heart that you did the best of which you're capable of. He did his best. He did all he could do. He won 10 national championships, NCAA basketball championships out of 12 years, 7 in a row. But these are 4 principles that he followed always. So I share those with you that you might take them into your personal life and might share them with others in your business. And then stop during this next week. We're going to take the challenge. Just periodically stop and say, what am I grateful for right now, right here? Have a meaningful week. Arrows out. Onward, upward, and outward. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.